Hello again. I thought I'd do a video today about sugar. I've spoke a bit about protein, and I've spoke a bit about sugar before, but I thought I'd do a proper video. So yeah, as I've said, ants need sugar for energy. It's what allows them to operate. And yeah, here's something that I will prepare in this video, and I gave it to the Lasius flavus afterwards. So yeah, here are the types of sugars that I feed them, and these are in order of how much sugar is in them. So yeah, at this end it's a pear. They love pears. I find with Lasius niger they mostly like the sort of northern European fruits, pears, apples, things like that. Um, Next is sugar water, and if you stay till the end of the video, I will actually make some sugar water for anyone who's not 100% sure about how you make sugar water. I'll describe that process. You can make it how strong you like, but mine's normally about 25% sugar. Algarve nectar, this can be found in supermarkets in the sweetener sections with the artificial sweeteners and things like that. Maple syrup, and yeah, this is blended with carob fruit, which means it's slightly less sugary. You can see on there it says 45% less sugar, which is actually good because it makes it less syrupy. You can find this in supermarkets, strangely enough, with things like custards and stuff like that. I think because it's like a breakfast. And then honey, runny honey, just normal from the supermarket, nothing special. Look, it's a cheap own brand honey. And you can actually see how much sugar is in something. Here's the Algarve syrup. Look, per 100 grams, 66.11 grams of sugar. So it's 66% sugar. And it's important to know your sugar contents. And these are in order. I line them up in order. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to again feed this little colony. I've fed them before and I've shown you me doing this. What I'm saying here, look, is when you pull the foil back, don't pull the foil right back until after you've fed them. Only reveal the bit at the front so they'll stay in the dark part. But even so, I actually have some trouble here. So yeah, it's important to sort of know the viscosity of your sugar, and the more sugar is in the thing that you're feeding the ants, the stickier it is and the more likely they are to get stuck. And when you've got a very small colony like this, remember what I said about how much gaster size they've got and how much you can feed them. You only need to feed them just smudges of sugar. You'll see here on this bit of greaseproof paper I've got the tiniest smudge of sugar. I'm just trying to scare them a bit there with moving the cotton backwards and forwards just to try and push them back and gently. Now they've retreated, I can quickly pop it in. So again, just when you are feeding them, be patient, wait for the right moment when the ants aren't really interested, and always have your cotton bud to hand. Alternatively, if you don't want to use the greaseproof paper and the smudge method, you can just take a piece of cotton wool, roll it up into a little ball, and then just drop it in something like your sugar water. The sugar water will soak into the cotton ball, and obviously now there's no I dropped it. Obviously now there's no danger of the ants getting stuck in it because it's all, but they will suck the sugar water out of the cotton wool ball, and that's what I gave to the flavus that you saw earlier in the video. The sugar must be in liquid form. Ants can't eat solid food, so no sweets or anything like that. And this is an example of what you mustn't do. This is a death trap. This is a perfect dome of honey where it's pulling equally from all sides of the dome, making it, and it's deep, look, it's not a smudge. Do not feed your ants like this. This is how not to do it, and I threw this away afterwards. I didn't feed it to the ants. So yeah, keep the quantity small, and just be careful. So yeah, here's sugar water. You just take normal white granulated sugar, and you really, again, make small quantities because you don't want to be feeding your ants huge amounts. So, especially when they're a new colony, you don't need giant amounts of this. Look, I've got half a teaspoon, and even this is too much. I didn't need all of this. And then boil the kettle, and use boiling water, because don't worry, it won't be boiling by the time you've messed around with it. As you'll see, it'll have cooled down by the time it gets to the ants. And then what you want to do is, like I said, I make mine about 1 part sugar to 2 to 3 parts water. You'll see I put it, there you go, that's it, that's all you need. Now the next step is the most important step. You've got to get rid of all of the sugar granules. There should be no sludge, no granules in there. So trusty barbecue skewer, I told you use these things for all sorts when you're ant keeping, and stir and stir and stir and stir some more, and keep stirring, and just, yeah, you cannot stir enough here. You've got to get the water to go completely clear and see-through and look like water again, because if you leave those granules of sugar suspended in the water, as it dries out, it goes rock hard. The granules turn into like a real rock, and ants can get stuck in it very easily. I don't like sugar water. I always take mine out quite soon after I've put it in. I give it not for too long in there, because it dries into this horrible. But yeah, get it like that, get it see-through, completely clear, and that's how you make sugar water. And yes, thank you for watching. Those are the different types of sugars that I use, and sort of the quantities and the way to feed your ants.